In this section, let's focus on global challenges and the effect that it has on information systems. Now, there are various challenges that companies would typically face when they decide to go into an international or global market. And this is usually where they're trying to obtain or gain access to more and more customers. So what are some of the challenges that companies would typically face? The first one is cultural challenges. Every country and various regions around the world have their own cultures and customs, and that it's important for companies to actually go and to investigate these and to make sure that they understand where those clients are coming from and the expectations that's available from those companies. For example, we would find that companies like Coca-Cola and Pepsi would typically change their logos or their branding in different countries based on people's perceptions on their brand in those particular companies. The next one would be language. Translations, many times you hear something is lost in translation, where your intention or the idea that you have gets lost and that people don't understand what you're trying to tell them or trying to sell to them. For example, if we think about jokes and certain gestures, what might be perceived funny in one country might be offensive in another country. The third one, time and distance. It's important that companies take account of how long it will take them to deliver a product from, let's say, South Africa to Russia. If you go on a website and you promise that you're going to deliver a product within 24 hours, you're creating an expectation from those customers or clients. So can you really deliver on that particular promise? We need to incorporate state, regional and national laws. For example, if we think in terms of trans-border data flow, what is permitted in those countries? There are various countries where they restrict what goes into the country and out of the country, even containing to information. So what can you deliver in that country? And are you going to perhaps break some of those countries' laws by having commerce conducted in that country? So you need to be very careful with these kind of things. What are the trade agreements in place? And can you actually work with these? The next one is infrastructure. Do you have the necessary infrastructure and equipment available? And if you want to send products or services to another country, do they have those infrastructure and services available? The next one is currency, value of currencies. If you have a bottom line and you need to sell products at a specific price, are that price affordable to people in that perhaps that other country? Do you need to think in terms of, let's say, the economy, what they can afford, what is available to them? If you're sending products, let's say in Africa, can they really afford these new products and services? Looking at products and services, the types of stuff that you want to offer, the size of a product. If you're trying to sell a product that's quite large, will you be able to transport and deliver it to that country? How many issues are it going to present to you? Again, that would relate to perhaps something like infrastructure. The electronic delivery of new services. Companies nowadays sell music, they sell movies and content. Do that other country or center have the necessary skills, infrastructure and bandwidth in order for you to deliver that new content? Technology transfer. We now need to incorporate things like intellectual property, trade secrets. Are you allowed to sell what you generate in one country and perhaps send it to another country? Would there perhaps be certain secrets that you're going to reveal that you don't need to do so? And then the last one, having trade agreements, where countries have agreements between themselves. We have examples of this, the EU, the BRICS, all of those different types, where there's specific arrangements between companies for them to conduct business with each other. And these are some of the global issues that we need to perhaps keep in mind in order to conduct global business.